Quit talking. How about now?
Hey.
There you go.
Now we're there. I know you guys can hear us
Hey,
now.
you know what? Apologize to the audience. You know what? We have a mixer. We have cameras. We have everything.
That guy can apologize.
Yeah, I know. I will. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Sorry about the slight delay on that.
Should we start over? Do you want to see the intro again? Because I'd like to do the intro
Welcome.
again.
I think they heard the intro. They heard the intro. You guys hear the intro okay? I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm sure they did.
Either way, welcome, everybody. I'm Corey Pratt.
I'm Chris Ruck.
And as you can tell, this is Craving Cars Live.
Which has been on break for a few weeks, as you could tell. So,
It's what it is. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys can hear us. Oh, whoop.
There you go.
Womp, womp, womp. You got that one in there too?
I do.
Well, that's if I tell a joke. That's if we do magic.
We're fixed now.
What else we got?
There we go.
Oh,
there
is that what it is? There we go. Anyways, let's get into it, everybody. We already said hi.
We did,
and we do want to thank a set of people, a set of personnel that helps make the show possible, and that is our sponsors, everybody.
That's right.
What are they?
Well, no. Why don't you tell us?
Well, we have We Are Warriors Apparel. So wearewarriorsapparel.com. And, these sponsor links and things will be down below after the show. Make sure we'll get them in there and stuff.
Yep.
So thank you, Jason from We Are Warriors. Awesome stuff. UnKCorked Wine and Spirits.
Dave and his team are amazing.
Go visit them. Dave is awesome.
JD.
Ian and Eric run inside the store. They know a lot about, scaredly know a lot about alcohol.
Yeah, it's weird how much they know.
They know a lot. I don't know how to say that any other way by you ask them. You tell them your shoe size, the color of your underwear, and you're into wine.
They'll match you to the right thing.
To the right one.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We've got RICHLINE Motorsports.
You know what? I got to give a big prob out to JD and Steven, who have worked very hard with us at World of Wheels and everything else. They did a great job in anything we need. They made sure we had it. Yeah, they did a great job.
Thank you, RICHLINE.
Yep.
And we got timely delivery service.
Tim.
Hey, you know what? You know what's cool about timely delivery service right now?
He took home a trophy because he had the best Chiefs players.
We got him on camera.
That's right.
Because he hasn't been on the show, although I still think he needs to be. All of our sponsors need to be on our show
shy.
at least once.
He's too shy.
He always talks about, you're good guys. I don't need anything.
Right, I don't need nothing.
But I spotlighted him. We got him in World of Wheels.
Yep.
Weird Al got to visit him. That was good. Which we'll talk World of Wheels later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
And
it was great for him to show up.
Yeah, it was cool. So we got Tim. Got you, buddy. We got you, buddy. So thank you to our sponsors for that.
Those are our sponsors, but we always have good friends.
We have good friends. What are our good friends?
Yep. And Barton Fine Fabricators.
He's done some really kick-ass videos lately.
I know. Yeah.
He's done.
Him and his son are sitting at home saying, "What can we build?"
You know what you're watching right now, guys? You're watching the best thing ever.
That's
seen
right.
on the internet.
That's right.
That's it. That's my favorite. Did you see the one he did with the Toy Story thing?
Oh, yeah.
Clicking through the channels?
Yeah. The channel.
Go back. And then it would pop up Craving Cars. It was awesome.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
like my most favorite things.
Yeah. We love that from everybody that follows us. And same thing with Will's Wheels. Always a great sponsor of ours, right? They always promote us. And we do the same thing. So good job for them.
Womp, womp, womp. So awesome, Mick Sawsome. And obviously, friends are friends. We make friends all the time.
That's right.
And sponsorships.
That's right.
Well,
let's get into the show. You know what? Forget all these friends. They're all great.
Sponsorships can be made all the time, too. But
they can be.
What do they need to do, and where do they need to go to become that sponsorship friend?
CravingCarsLive.com/sponsorship. There you go. And now you can get involved with being on our podcast, which is coming up every week now. Now we're going back to a weekly cycle after April.
After March.
Oh, March. Sorry. April, we go back to weekly.
Every week.
Every Thursday.
You know what else you can see there on our lovely website of Craving Cars Live? We have all of our links to our social media platforms.
Yep.
So we've got Craving Cars on Instagram and Facebook. If you're just on those platforms, it's at Craving Cars. Can't miss them unless you don't type Craving Cars incorrectly. And of course, here on the lovely platform of YouTube, of which we're on, and we are there. Now,
does everybody know where everything we've done lives? I think go to our YouTube channel, right? There's multiple places on that channel looking at videos we built. But to listen to the live shows, you got to go to the live tab to watch them.
the easiest way to do it, yes.
Yeah,
If you're already on YouTube, yes, there's videos, there's live, there's shorts.
that's right.
We've got a lot of videos on all of those categories, but to hit these shows and directly, some people go to the video and don't see it.
Yep.
So you have to hit the live tab.
Go to the live tab.
Or just go to our website. It's right on there
There
with
you
the
go.
link.
Yep.
So whichever is easiest for you guys, that's what we want you to do. But we've been up to a couple things because there's been some stuff that has happened sooner than it typically has been in the
Oh my
last
gosh,
few years.
it's just blown up.
Which the biggest one, which we're just going to throw that out there right now, is
Throw it. Throw it.
Autorama delivered
Yeah. Yeah.
the O'Reilly's World
That
of Wheels.
was amazing. Amazing.
Another amazing show.
Yeah.
It was like a whole month sooner than it was last year, but that just gave us something to do in February, I guess.
And you know what? We got a big shout out to all the sponsors and people that just came up, wanted to be interviewed, be part of the show.
We did some live stuff then, so that was the last time technically we've done live.
Yeah.
So if you missed a lot of that, obviously it's here on our channel, but we did a lot of interviews.
Yep.
With a lot of people around, a lot of really
A lot of people we never met.
a lot of really cool stories.
Yep.
Of other car clubs and other businesses, and we just, you know what, we walked around live through majority of the show, just like give like a glimpse. I think we walked around for like an hour live, just to kind of give people kind of a glimpse of what they're missing out on if they're not going to World of Wheels.
That's right. Yeah.
And not to mention, of course, we have a new content of video. We've got a lot of stuff out, a lot of Batmobile stuff.
We have so much content.
Batmobile shorts,
we just can't get it
videos.
out quick enough.
We've got the full edited kind of video. I know those videos don't necessarily show all the cars in it, but it's because there's, you know, how you going to, within like a 20, 30-minute video, how are you going to fit 600 to 800 cars in that video?
Yeah, you're not.
It's just so we're around there. We've done, we did a new segment, Club Spotlight, which we could talk
That
about
was
that
a
later.
great job. I mean, honestly, I think that was a big highlight. Even Wheels set that out as saying that's unique, right? And I think that's important. Keep the car clubs involved with not only what we do, but with just promoting the community.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later as far as things that are different and unique.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
World's changing.
So there's a lot of content. So
Yep.
Obviously, if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, you need to be, because we have a lot of cool World of Wheels stuff. I'd say more World of Wheels things than we've put out in the past. Last year, we put the biggest World of Wheels video that Craving Cars ever done. Like the longest, it's the longest video. It covers,
almost 30 minutes long.
It covers it's 50-something minutes long actually.
Oh, is it?
It's almost an
okay.
hour long. Yeah. This one's not as long.
You can tell
the
I
edited
didn't
one
build
here.
it.
But the thing is, the reason why it's not because we were able to split out and kind of split the content out so much this year.
Yeah.
That we were able to do things that weren't as so. You know, we didn't have to do one video that was an hour long. We got to split up so you guys can kind of enjoy it in little bursts. I got out to do a couple of things. Chris, you were a little busy.
Yep.
I just want to let people know. Bad news race. Mobad news. Mo bad news.
Mo bad news. Okay, well, it's not bad if the car's running.
Mo bad.
So,
well, he's from Missouri, so that worked
I
out.
know.
So MOBADNEWS.com, and you can follow a race team called Mobad News Racing. But it's actually a friend of ours. I met him originally in the Audi Club. We do a lot of things in the Audi Club.
Yep.
And his name is Stephen Bright. He kind of became a little bit of a car driver. He's a big car enthusiast anyways. And he followed a passion of racing and he's just been doing. He started with an Audi TT.
Yep.
He went to a different Audi TT, and then all of a sudden he kind of like merged.
He
And
switched.
somehow ended up in a Nissan realm.
Yeah.
And as of right now, he's got a Nissan 350Z, which he just unveiled
He went to the
his-
real well.
for his new 2024 build setup.
Yeah.
Which last year, out of 33 teams in his class of racing, he got 3rd place.
Damn, that's big.
That's not bad.
In a short term. Yeah,
That's not bad.
Pretty bad.
And he's increased his engine output. Basically, let's just say this. So you know what a 350Z has in it, right? It's got a 3.5 liter V6 VQ engine, basically.
Yep.
Well, he did race in that originally. That got replaced with a 5.3 liter LS V8. That has now been replaced with a 6.2 liter LS V8.
Okay.
So he's got about another 100
That's
more
completely different.
horsepower, torque.
Yeah.
The engine is actually lighter than the 5.3. It's lighter than what the V6 would have been, so now the car's more. I'm just really curious. We haven't followed a lot of race teams.
No, we don't.
We've
haven't.
spotlighted here and there. I've been
Yeah.
to some races and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
But
This
we
is-
understand the dynamics.
This is
but
really
we
cool
just
that-
haven't really dove into it.
Yeah. He invited us out to kind of do just the unveiled. He was letting the car go. His sponsors are kind of,
Yeah.
flex some muscle. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It was awesome talking with him. That video is out. People can see that if you want to see what the car's like and see how good a V8 actually fits in a 350Z is amazing. It actually looks like it fits better than the V6 that was in
Right. Right.
Dare to Dream Motorsports did all the work, did all the engine swap. They did a phenomenal job because he's racing with the car, like they did the work last year too, and he had like no real issues with the car.
Right.
Which means apparently they know what they're doing on the shop. So
Cool.
good job.
But you do have a video on it on the YouTube channel, so go check it out.
YouTube channel.
There you go.
We've got some pictures of the car out on our Instagram and Facebook, and links to all that too. So you know what? Don't follow us on one or the other, or subscribe to YouTube. Just do all of it.
Yeah, or PM us, and we'll tell you what's going on.
Oh,
Does that not work?
like that's a message thing. I thought he
Yeah,
I thought he
for
meant-
our audience,
I thought he meant something
they
else.
know who we are.
I thought he meant
They know
something
how to
else.
connect with us.
We're going to talk rigs and roast here in a second.
Yep. I'm excited for
On
for
a note of
2024.
that, I was out. You know what? I'm spotlighting the video. The video is going to be out here in just a couple days.
And you
anyways.
did see Toyota had their big event under the bridge down here, downtown, right? You did see they did that. So I'm wondering,
Yeah.
could be an opportunity
saw
there.
that.
Yeah. Is that a sore spot? I should have brought it up. Sorry.
I didn't see it. I didn't
Sorry,
see it.
but we're all friends and family.
No, I'm sorry to see
be supportive.
We'll talk more about rigs and roast here momentarily, but on a side note of that, which God, this is a side note of another side note. Don't worry, this will all make sense in a minute, so just stay tuned with us. But I went out and I saw a truck I didn't know existed, and I saw what was on this truck, and I said, "That's really cool that you guys actually sold this new and you had this aftermarket shit put on here." And he goes, "That's not aftermarket. That's all check boxed in the order platform of ordering this vehicle."
Okay, so how about there? Let's stop. Anybody have an idea what this is?
Yeah. Would you know what it's?
You're talking new, right?
We're talking brand new truck.
2024.
A brand new truck you can buy. And remember, Rigs and Roast is an overlanding kind of a community thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And this is a thing that fits the bill, the platform, perfectly.
Straight out of factory.
And I'm not talking about a Jeep or a Bronco.
All right, let me see if anybody has anything.
Do we need to come back to this?
We can move on. We'll come back to it. Don't call it out yet.
It was on the spot, kind of like, "Hey, do you mind? Can I get the keys to that real quick? Because I want to go do something." So I shot a small video that I'm actually not currently working on it because you're watching me live right now, but I was before here, and I will be continuing to work on it later.
Right.
It'll be released this weekend. Okay,
right.
It's a car review on this particular vehicle. Do you have any ideas?
Well, based on the conversation, nobody has an idea.
All right. Well, I'll give it this. It's a mid-size truck. So who all makes mid-size trucks nowadays?
Are you thinking like the Maverick?
That's not a truck.
Well, I agree. But
It looks like a truck, but the
Joe would probably argue with you, but
it can be used as that. But you know what's underneath a Maverick?
Correct.
It's an escape that's stretched out a little bit.
So it's built off of the
it's got
Escape
more-
platform.
It's got more of a car chassis
Yeah,
than it does a truck chassis. But it's a good utilitarian vehicle.
So you're saying it's not a Ford and it's not a Jeep.
I didn't say it wasn't a Ford. I just said who makes mid-sized trucks.
Oh, so it is a Ford.
Well, does
See
Ford make
how I pick your brain?
does Ford make a mid-sized truck?
They do, the Maverick.
No, that's not a
Or
not a truck.
Colorado.
No, that's Chevy.
Oh.
It's the Ranger. They have the Ranger.
They came back out with a Ranger?
Yeah, years ago. Did they stop making it all of a sudden or something? As far
I
as
don't
they still
know,
have
but is that what you saw?
it. No, that's not the truck.
Oh.
So now I just gave that away. But they do. There's a Ford Ranger that actually is it's a pickup. It's a small pickup. But okay, let me give you choices. Obviously, I didn't say it was Jeep, but Jeep makes the Gladiator, which is a truck.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Nissan has the Frontier, which is a new design Frontier.
Yeah.
Toyota has the Tacoma, which is a new design truck too.
Yep.
Correct.
Everybody's trying to build off the Jeep Gladiator
Chevy
platform.
has the Colorado, which has some interesting options. Ford has the Ranger, which, from my understanding, in other countries they make a Ranger Raptor.
Anyway.
It's supposed to come here. I don't
Yeah.
know about.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, and then you have Dodge. Don't make anything. Remember they used to have the Dakota a long time ago.
Yeah, Dodge doesn't make trucks
They don't
anymore.
make. They make Rams.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dodge don't make trucks. Ram makes trucks.
That's right.
But they don't make
There
it
you go.
mid-size anymore. They're just full-size stuff. So I'm not counting them either.
Okay.
But there's one more maker.
Damn, now you're confusing me.
It's an American company. So what's the one I'm missing that still makes trucks?
GMC?
Bingo, baby.
Oh.
The GMC Canyon.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that.
Now, granted, it is built off of like the same kind of platform as the Colorado, the Chevy Colorado. Because
It's
you know how
GM.
GMC
Yeah, it's GM.
and
Yeah,
Chevy
yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
But the looks are different. And I think they have options. They have a trim level that you don't get with a Colorado. I mean, Colorado does have an off-road package option. But this is the most I have seen outside of Jeep and Bronco that I have ever seen offered from a dealership brand new. I need to talk to you what's about this truck, okay? It's called the GMC Canyon 4-wheel drive AT4X. The AT4X is a specific trim of the 4x4 Canyon.
Yep.
Okay. All right. They actually have an edition 1. I think you can still buy them today because the one I reviewed was an edition 1, which gives you about $11,000 in options. Now, this edition 1
$11,000?
just options are $11,000, okay? Now, this truck all said
Like power steering?
fully fucking loaded up, man. It is $66,000.
Well, that's not bad.
Which if you took a Jeep Gladiator Rubicon fully loaded up, it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay. I know technically a Bronco's not a pickup truck, but let's say you took
Even if you
let's
still
say you
built
took one
it
out
out.
fully
Yeah,
loaded
yeah.
up. It's
Yeah.
like if you took a Bronco Raptor or
Yep.
something. All right. Now
Yep.
I'm not saying it's a Raptor. That's like a sand dune jumping mother sucker, right? However,
We can say fucker. It's an adult
I've
show.
already said it earlier, so it's, I'm just saying.
Let's not be PC all of a sudden.
It's whatever.
There you go.
This is not a monetized video. No. Now, factory, and you guys subscribe. This video is coming out soon so you can see what this truck is. It's already lifted. It's got up to about a 33-inch size tire already. Okay? It's obviously 4-wheel drive with your transfer case being 4. I don't know the gear ratio to your gear heads out there with the off-roading.
I mean, I guess if we were really trailing, that might be important.
But I have a feeling it's probably pretty good because you want to know why? It's got rear and front lockers.
Manual or auto?
Like differential locker. So it has
So you have to step out,
The
lock
only
them.
thing that I know that you can get factory with front and rear lockers is going to be, for the longest time, it was the Jeep Rubicons. Now,
My Commander does.
Bronco has it does not have a front locker, I guarantee you that.
No, it's all-time four-wheel drive.
That's just all-time four-wheel drive, but they're not locked.
Oh,
You
no,
can-
no.
you can put-
Well, no, but
Like-
they are because...
No. I think you're misunderstanding what I'm meaning. Like, I've had two Wranglers, right? I have a 2000 Jeep Wrangler Sahara, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low. You put it in 4-wheel drive, you're in 4-wheel drive. But I also had a Wrangler Rubicon. You put in that same 4-low, it's in 4-wheel drive, but then you can lock the diffs. So a typical 4-wheel drive is if you start all of a sudden get up in the air, this wheel will start spinning while this one won't.
Well, yeah, that's called.
It'll happen in the front too. Okay, it's kind of like an open diff. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to have an actual locker in an off-road vehicle to where now both wheels will turn. So even if this one's not even touching, this one will get all the traction still because they're still going to turn at the same time as they keep.
Yeah, but not if you have limited differentials.
A limited slip is a different thing. A limited
So
slip
you're talking like locking down this wheel.
A limited slip is something that's great for the road because let's tell you, as you go around a corner, one will slip just a little bit so you still get around but still give you traction.
Yeah.
Where if you took a vehicle with lockers on and you try to go around a corner on a dry pavement, it'll go like they're trying to turn at the same time. And when you turn, wheels don't go the same. You know,
Right.
one
right,
turns less than the
right.
other.
So it's actually worse.
You'll get so lockers are only really for off-roading.
There you go.
That you can get slippage and stuff like that, right?
So you're talking like rock climbing,
Yes,
deep
this
off-road.
is stuff that
yeah,
if people are truly into off-roading,
yeah.
they have a switch. They have either air lockers, electric lockers. Maybe they even have diffs that are just fully locked
Yep.
all the time. This Canyon comes with front rear lockers, which is not something that typically comes on a lot of vehicles. Okay? So that's set, right? Not to mention, I was looking at this. It had additional light bars in the front. It had additional lights in the bumper. The bumpers were steel in the front and back, you know, with tow package stuff. It had a winch. Factory option. How many vehicles offer a winch in a factory option? Not a lot of them.
Nothing but a Jeep that I know.
Not a lot of them.
Yeah.
The bed was already lined. It had rails on it, so you can put baskets and like, you know, hauling gear and all that stuff already on the bed. It had like 110. It has a has an inverter already built in. I'm not sure how many watts it is, but it has the plug on the inside. It has an actual normal three plug ordeal.
You know what has that inverter?
It has a 110 outlet.
My Malibu.
It has a 110 outlet in the bed of the truck.
I'm kidding.
It really just has a lot of cool things. It has already auxiliary. So I gotta say that correctly. Auxiliary switches on the inside, so you can hook additional lighting up to it.
Yeah, yeah.
The one I looked at had a sunroof, so if you're into that thing, it was a 4-door. And the thing is, the interior was actually pretty nice, and I loved. You'll see what I'm talking about when you watch the video. A lot of this like aesthetic stuff, and a little bit of white and red and black interior. It was really nice looking because it's probably something similar that you can get with a Chevy Colorado. The difference is it's a GMC, and if you guys ever shop for a GM truck, the GMCs are just a little bit nicer. And a lot of times also on things, a lot of people buy Jeeps because they're fans, but guess what?
Yeah. If you're a Jeep fan, you're a Jeep fan.
They also love the look of the Jeeps. That's part of it, right?
Yeah.
If you like the Broncos, you really love the look of the Broncos. You like Tacomas, you probably really like the look of the Tacomas. This is a truck that not only I feel like is going to be a good function on the trail, it looks really good. And actually, I'm going to leave Jeep out of this because I'm biased towards Jeeps. You know
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah. I think it's the best looking mid-sized truck, period.
Well, good. Good for them.
Over Nissan, over Toyota, over Ford, over Chevy. It is a damn good looking truck, and you will see it in the video. I talked a lot about this already.
Yeah, you did.
So-
but speaking of which, with off-road, Rigs and Roast, we're going to be doing at 511 again in March at the end, right? March 30th?
March 30th is a Saturday, and I got ice in my mouth. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We're live. What can I say?
We're back at 511 Tactical Independence.
Independence
right across from
39th
Independence
Street.
Mall.
Yep, off of 39th Street in
And
Independence.
thank you so much for them having us back.
From 9 to 11.
Yep.
From 9 to 11. The page will get, it'll get made this week.
Yep.
We'll get it up there. I mean, it's a month away. So
Yeah, we'll get it updated for sure.
So make sure you tell all of your off-road overlanding enthusiast buddies, your Toyota clubs, your Jeep clubs, your Land Rover clubs, your Raptor club, whatever clubs.
You know what? It's great to have all of that, and that's fine. Love to have anybody come out and just, if you want to even take a look, right? Let's just say you have a car.
If you're
just
into it,
come out.
Just if you're into it,
that's right.
Come out.
That's right.
Take a look at the rigs. You might get some ideas on your own rig. That's kind of cool. Because what people do when they show up, if they have like a cool rooftop tent and an awning, they put it all out. So
they break it out.
So you can see their setup.
Yep.
It's really, really, really neat.
Yep.
And 511 does a good job with us. I will put in the description when we make the event on what the discounts are.
Yep. And you know what? They've been great for us. I mean, honestly, they've given some major discounts. We're talking upwards of 40% off the gear.
On certain gear, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're going to do something a little different this time, but either way,
Yeah.
for that day only, during the event only, they will have some additional discounts for everybody.
That'd be awesome.
We'll have a little sign-in thing, and when you sign in, we'll give you like a little, kind of like a coupon that gives you the discount, right?
Yep, that's right.
With that said, we'll have a couple little nummy snacks for you.
Yeah.
We'll have some coffee for you. If you guys don't understand what Rigs and Roast, if you've been there and you understand, you're following the channel, you know what it is. If you don't understand what it is, Rigs and Roast is like a cars and coffee for your off-road and overlanding. So that's instant.
That is exactly it.
But we do have one additional thing that we've never had at Rigs and Roast.
Our stickers.
New Rigs and Roast stickers.
There you go.
And anybody arriving at the Rigs and Roast gets a free sticker.
There you go. Something to put on the back of your rig.
You got to put it on your rig, though.
Yeah.
That's the only stipulation. You got to sign in, actually, to get the discount. And then we'll give you a sticker with the discount. And then you have to put it on. Well, I keep adding things, don't I?
I know. You just keep adding
And then
it.
you got to put it on your rig.
And you got to send $20.
It's and they're free with a $5 donation. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. They're free.
No, they are.
They're going to be free. So very, very cool. And, of course, we do have stickers for everybody that's not even involved in Rigs and Roast.
That's right.
We
Craving
have
Cars.
Craving Cars stickers. Take a look at those. Aren't they awesome?
Look
at
at
this.
they match our shirts.
Look,
they look so good.
Do you want to see them in 3D? Check
They
it
do.
out.
There you go.
Look at that. That's 3D. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got a lot of stuff we're doing this year. This year is going to be big for us. I'm excited for this year.
I am too.
It's going to be different than last year. There you go. The mugs are separate. We got to figure out. We're going to bring them in and design their own mugs.
Technically, this is a one of one right now. So
Yeah.
this is kind of
It's a print off. There you go. It's a promo.
It's just to show you
Prototype.
if I'm drinking something, I'm advertising our own self. Even though it's on our shirt.
There you go.
And it's somewhere down there.
And for anybody that is on the show today, thank you so much for joining us early. We will be at the Red Room later. Free pizza for anybody that shows up. So come out and join us.
And
get some free stickers. There you go. Do that.
But you got to put them on your car.
All right. What else we got to go through besides F1? Because I'm excited for F1. I was concerned with Red Bull because the CEO and president was under investigation.
We were,
and now they cleared that, so I'm comfortable now.
I thought we were told not to discuss F1.
Yeah, I know it's early, but I'm excited. The announcement came today, so I had to at least throw it out there. What else you got? What else you wanted to go through?
That's not really what happened, everybody. I just said I didn't want to talk about F1.
Besides,
you know what? I want to talk about some weird things here. Weird things in automotive that's happened in the past, and bear with me. It's gonna make a
circle
to nowadays, right? Okay,
go.
Whatever. All right. There's always been weird stuff in automotive history, like weird features, weird things that did not really cut it. It might have sounded like a good idea at the time, or maybe the technology just wasn't quite ready for it yet. Some of those have done a full circle, and 20, 30, 40 years later, they've made it back to cars again because it was more applicable. Like, for instance, Cadillac in 1981 had a car with a V8 called the 6.4. You know what that meant? That meant it shut down certain cylinders to save on gas.
Right.
But the computers in cars back then were more mechanical than actual computers. And so the limitations of the vehicle was extremely unreliable, right? And nowadays, much more years later, remember they've done it again, right? They've had other vehicles, trucks and stuff, where you have a V8 and it was shut down to 4 cylinders to save on gas and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But it was better computer controlled and it worked a lot better and it was more efficient. Not a lot of cars probably have anymore because now they've just downsized the engines to V6s and turbo 4 cylinders and blah, 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 blah. Kind of going back to the GMC Canyon, for instance, you don't believe that's a truck. Now, typically, those would have either a big V6 or a small V8 in them. That truck actually had a turbo 4-cylinder. But that truck also had more power and more torque than almost any car and truck in its class.
You're talking, what, mid-'80s, late 80s?
Well, I'm just giving you an example. Like, it was a technology that came out in 1981 with Cadillac.
Yeah, because everybody in the
that
80s
didn't
were
work out.
pushing turbos.
Nowadays, they don't have a lot
Yeah.
of that cylinder shutoff stuff because now they've just downsized the engines and added
That's
turbos
right.
on them.
Yep.
And like an example, if they would have made that Canyon 30 years ago, it probably would either had a small V8 or a really big V6 that sucked down gas like crazy. Am I right? Now they put a 4-cylinder in it with 310 horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of torque out of that truck, out of the 4-cylinder. It is a 2.7, by the way. Have you guys ever seen a vehicle outside of Porsche that had a 4-cylinder that was that big? It's a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder. I forgot to mention that.
No, I think everything I was used to was like a 2.2, 2.4.
I had a 2.5 in a Nissan once. That's about as big as I've ever saw. That because Porsche at one point, the 944 eventually grew, and when it got its replacement, it was up to a 3-liter 4-cylinder. Can you believe that? It's huge, but that was not turboed or anything. Anyways, what I'm getting at, there's been some weird things. So one thing that was absolutely just kind of a ridiculous thing that they got rid of, and thank God they never brought back. You remember the automatic seatbelts? You'd open the door and the thing go.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of.
And then you shut in.
Yep.
Eventually, it would stick about halfway because the motor would go bad or the track would go bad or get dirty. But remember, there was a lap belt. So it was an automatic seatbelt, so that way you would automatically have your seatbelt on. But to be truly safe, you had to reach down and still put the lap belt on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You remember what I'm talking about?
While we're talking, I'll just let the video play.
Well, the weird thing is about that is hardly nobody used their lap belt, so it was basically not giving you the safety that it really could have been.
Right.
And the whole automatic seatbelt thing was ridiculous and stupid. How about that door? That's awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Why did they bring that back?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of getting to something here. And okay, now obviously at some point when I grew up, tape players were the big thing in a car, but eventually
cassettes.
But eventually went into CDs. Okay, but you remember the biggest downfall from a CD compared to a tape deck was?
No.
Remember CDs would skip? You hit bumps.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Eventually that tech got good enough where it didn't skip.
Sure.
But do you, and this is before my time. It's
You know what? Actually, how many people remember driving down the road, listening to a song, and all of a sudden it skips because you hit a pothole or a speed bump?
I used to have a CD book that hold like 80 CDs.
That's
and I would
right.
shove it under my seat.
We used to shove toilet paper or napkins under the deck to suppress it.
Oh, okay. So it would like take more shock and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know this. Okay, so I didn't know this was a thing. But can you believe that once upon a time they had record players that were in dash record players in a car?
Yeah, I've seen that.
They were 45, so they were the small records.
Yep.
But you'd almost insert them almost kind of like a CD. If CD skipped in a much newer technology, what do you think the records did? You know what they were saying? Because back that time, radio wasn't as big of a thing, or there were AM radios. So they thought, hey, this would make driving more pleasurable by you being able to listen to your music.
Right.
The problem is every stupid little bump, crack,
or torn.
Anything, it could skip too much as an entire song.
Yeah.
I mean, CDs only skip for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And it was just the most terrible idea for its time. But in reality, it's what we are today. It's just our music and our media is just much more reliable, much better.
Yeah.
And now a lot of cars nowadays don't even necessarily come with even CD players in them because everybody's streaming, Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's gone to something better. Now, do you remember the horrible time of the 80s when certain cars, and I'm gonna call out Oldsmobile on this one, or Buick, had those digital dashes? Corvettes had them too.
Oh, yeah.
It was so futuristic. They're like, oh my God, look at this tech we have. They threw it in there. And they were the
kit car.
They were the most unreliable dashes that there was because the digital displays would go out in them.
Yeah, the Knight Rider. Knight Rider kit.
Well, that's even more advanced.
Had that.
That was even more
advanced. Yeah. It's crazy.
But they really sold it really big.
Oh, and
Buicks and stuff like that. Can you move that to about 19 minutes in? Oh, there it was.
With the records?
No, right there. Hit play. This is something I'm curious if you guys knew. This has a digital dash on this, right? So it has like the digital speedometer and all that stuff. You see that right there? That is a touch screen from the
That's
1980s.
crazy.
From the 1980s.
Right.
Yes, it's only a green backlit deal, but it had all your climate controls, your
Touch capacity.
your radio controls. That was a touch screen. There was no physical buttons. Look at them. That was a touch screen control only. And that was the newest tech known to man at its time.
And look at the car.
It was out of a Buick Riviera. And it had a touchscreen. Back in the early 80s is when that came out. Look at that steering wheel even. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. However, here's the weird thing. We have touchscreens nowadays.
Yep.
Because tech got better, didn't it? It disappeared. It disappeared for a long time. And then it got better. This goes back to Craving Cars. Craving Cars has been around a long time. More than some people think. You and I have only been around for a couple years.
Yep.
Okay, as a team. Okay, now Craving Cars got started back in like.
I think I'm getting fired here.
Technically
but
16,
hold on.
but it was really more up and going back in.
Sure. Yeah. You've been doing it for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've tried new things. I've tried this. I've tried that. Some things worked. Some things didn't. Some things I couldn't keep up. We've got ideas galore, and that's what I want to let the people know what 2024 really has to offer. With Craving Cars, because we've seen automotive things come and go. Some things were rad and they stuck around. Some things were the biggest flops ever. But we're willing. But those car companies were willing to try anything and everything at the time.
Yep.
Even with the most littlest like R&D that was required to do this.
Right.
And that kind of goes to like we're trying stuff all the time because we're trying to really truly bring what Barn Find Fabricators put out as the best thing on the internet.
There you go. And thanks, Sean, for that.
We're trying to do the best thing we can, but not everything works out.
That's right.
But we have some plans this year.
We do.
What are some of these plans? Well, one, we got more events this year that are nationally broadcasted type of events.
We're probably locked into 20-plus major events this year. Just major events, let alone everything we want to represent for Kansas City.
Which means Craving Cars is going to be doing a little more travel this year.
Yeah.
Some events are going to be amazing.
Yep.
Some of them will be awesome.
Yep.
Hopefully all of that.
Yeah, I think we always turn out what we can.
Some might work out, some might not. But guess what? We're one of those kind of people. We want to give this stuff a try, right?
Yeah.
A big one that does actually, or will more likely, they're going to house some national type events that's local to Kansas City. Is we got the Flying H Drag Strip.
That's right.
We've got a lot of events coming out at the Flying H Drag Strip.
National shows.
Some national shows
that are now there because Heartland got shut down.
Some might be more on the local side of things, but it doesn't matter. Starting with Streetcar Takeover, Kickoff Party, and then some. We will be releasing more
import,
more scheduling,
face off. We got that one
and things of that sort as we go with this. But that's something that we got more to talk about.
It's nice to have a base that we can go to.
We'd have a lot more information by the time we do our next show.
Yep.
Which is going to be in probably about 2 or 3 weeks or so.
That's correct.
We got one show that's going to be in March yet before we go every week.
Full blown April, week to week. Now we'll be back weekly.
Now
after April,
I want people to think, well, what can we expect for sure out of Craving Cars in 2024? As much as we love the car shows and we do stuff, well, they're going to do as many of those and bring a lot of content that we can to you guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've got a lot more little car reviews. Car collections.
We're going to deep dive into, especially the Kansas City owners that have a collection.
Yes.
We're going to give you behind the scenes look at the collection you probably never seen.
And that's not necessarily exclusive to just Kansas City as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to be traveling a lot.
So we've got more individual cool. And what's cool about that is, when they have like a car collection of, okay, it still might be quite a few cars, but it's not 600, 700, 800,000 cars that we're trying to cover in a car show, so we can give it more personal attention.
That's right.
We can give more information, we give more detail, and have a lot of fun with that.
Give you the most experience. If you were at the shop and you saw the car, here's what that looks like. In other words, get in it, walk around, look at it, deep dive into it. We're going to give that to you because you probably don't have that opportunity.
Right. Not to mention, we got a little more hands in a few of the local dealerships. So there are certain cars.
Be great.
And
Yeah,
newer
so we got Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Jaguar going to give us free cars to drive. You didn't get the memo?
I wasn't going to mention that one. Because I was pissed off we didn't get Porsche.
I know. Yeah, well, there you go.
Like to give you an idea,
you
thank you to the GMC Canyon, and that's noticed in the video too. But thank you
Yep.
to Dave Cross out of Lee Summit, Dave Cross Buick GMC, who did not hesitate at all to say, "Hey, go ahead, take a look at the truck, do what you want." And so that was really awesome of them. And so we have more little things like that. But we have friends and personal friends that have really cool stuff that
oh my gosh,
that we really, really want to show you guys.
Even to our good friends that have their own cars that are promoting the Kansas City community. Example being Nolan Road Saturday Night Cruise, Craig, Sean with Barnfired Fabricators, Wayne at Wayne Stock. Those things giving the opportunity, especially once they build the what do you call it? The big gas station coming in out Nolan Road. I'm thinking Willie's, but
it's not a Buc-ee's, is it?
I don't think it's a Buc-ee's. It's something like I think it's a Willie's, but
it's called something else.
Sean, you know the answer. Give me the answer.
Yeah, they're building.
But anyway, right there off 70 Highway, Nolan Road, it's going to be huge.
Yeah,
so
they basically they tore down what used to be the old Kmart.
Yep. Ventures, I think it was. Yeah, it was a Ventures way back in the day.
It was a Ventures, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oops. But anyway, it's going to be great. But you know what? Big shout out to all those people that are help promoting the car community. You guys do a great job. So.
Another thing that came out of World of Wheels is we did a first ever out of World of Wheels was a car club spotlight.
We did.
Okay.
Yep. No Love was the sponsor.
No Love Car Club.
Yep.
Been meaning to want to do a little spotlight on them for a while. World of Wheels just was nice because a lot of them were there. Okay.
Yep.
And there's more that weren't there, but there's more about every club. We want to do more of those.
Yeah.
We like that. You've got a request on a car club. Or to do kind of a spotlight with Craving Cars, let us know.
I mean, we can sit here and BS
below, or what's the best way you can email us at cravingcars@gmail.com. You also have what?
Info at cravingcarslive.com.
Info at cravingcarslive.com. So, I mean, take your pick.
There you go.
Let us know if you got a car club. I know we got a few kind of in line that we want to do anyways, but there's never enough, right? Now, we also, with Rigs and Roast coming up, we were going to do our best. We're going to do additional Rigs and Roast events.
Yep. Tell us about it.
That are basically kind of not just a cars and coffee ordeal. We're talking either overnight trips, camping trips, things what people in the off-roading and overland community want to do a lot of. And we're looking at least putting our first, maybe if not an annual event, or just maybe a series of events throughout the year. That we'll do with that. Not to mention, we'll still do the occasional Cards and Coffee versions of Rigs and Roast. So obviously, stay tuned for a lot of that stuff. And I mean that's kind of like.
Yeah, it is Wally's, by the way.
Wally's.
Casino. Wally's. Yep.
Wally's.
Wow. Largest going on. So yeah, it looks crazy how big it's going to be. I don't even know how long you'd have to wait to get a parking spot with 100 gas pumps.
I would hope you're not waiting at all.
It's crazy.
I've been to a gas station that was not a Wally's, so I've never been to a Wally's. But they literally had almost...
I've been to Buc-ee's, right? You see those in the South.
Yeah, they have like an 1/8 mile long of gas pumps.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
I don't know how they rip up that much.
Somebody told me that they have almost a 1/4 mile long in one place. I've never been to that one. I don't know what location that would be, but an 1/8 mile, I believe. 1/4 mile is kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, it's
this
humongous.
will be interesting to see this here because it's not even like on an outskirts of Kansas City area.
No, it's right off the highway.
It's right there. I mean, you're in the city for
Can
a
you
while.
imagine that exit ramp that I take home every day?
Could you imagine the cruise nights that are going to show up at this place?
Well, Craig and Sean, I'm sure will help with that. But yeah, that's crazy.
So if you're waiting in line at my favorite place, the Quick Trips, apparently they'll have plenty of pumps over at the Wally's.
Yeah. But you know what? Good for the city. Good for them. I'm excited for it. So,
absolutely.
What else you got? What else you want to do? We got about, what do you think?
No,
we got 10 minutes.
No, you don't got nothing. We got whatever we want.
All right, we're going to run late.
We're not timed.
Yeah, but I'm hungry for pizza.
We're not timed.
Damn.
We're not timed. We do what we want. You want to know why? It's our
All right,
show.
what else you got? What else you got?
You know what I want to do? I want to go to the credits. When I say credits, I mean our chat here.
You want to open it up?
Anybody? Okay. Because what I want to say is, there's been some unique things in the automotive world over the history of the automotive.
Oh, wait.
Hold on. And
okay.
I only touched on just a couple of stupid things, right?
Yep.
Meaning, what I was getting at that is there's some unique things out there. There's things that's been in the car community that's been very, very unique, right? We're trying to do that very same thing. So I want to hear from the people. Is there any particular things, that you want to see more from Craving Cars that you just think, man, you guys are great. You've done this before. I haven't seen much of it. Bring it back. Or maybe it's something new in general that we haven't already discussed. What is it?
That is a great question.
You need to put that in the comment. If you're not right here, right now in this chat, and you put it in there, put it in the comments below. I know not everybody who views the video is making comments.
Yep.
And that's fine. That's fine. Whether you want to put a comment in afterwards, whether you want to email us afterwards, I'm going to have the emails down below.
I know. Sean's picking our brain. We already have this planned, but we haven't announced it yet.
And basically, is he getting to it, isn't it?
He is. He's forcing us to make the announcement.
All right. But anyways, I want to appreciate it. Let's get some shout outs here while we're at it. Let's do this. But our BFF. Whoop, whoop. Fine Fabricators. Stephen Miller's on here.
Yep.
Thank you, Stephen Miller, for being on here.
Wheels, of course, always.
I know this is Mark from Ohio.
Don.
But his name is Vampire Bear 13 on here. So
yep.
Thank you, Mark. For Wheels. Thanks, Will.
Yep.
Don, awesome. Seeing you. Chris Rocco, who's that? Delete that guy.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell that guy is.
I don't know who that is.
Guy's a stalker.
Thank you.
Kids in Cars.
It says Big T, but I'm going to call him Mr. Big T.
Yep. Kids in Cars in the house.
All right.
Yep. Trey's back in town, so big shout out to Paul and Trey.
I was about to say that, but no, you already said thank you to that one. So, and I know there's some various others I'm missing on here, so I do appreciate you. KC Car Chick, I know, is on here somewhere because, why not? We have women watching us too. What can I say? I'm sorry, spouses, but we have women watching us. There's not much we can do about that.
I mean, we look good. So well, you do.
Okay. Now, you know what? I guess we just need to get to our latest thing.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Look, I want to keep hearing put shows in Odessa and a cruise down Main Street. Like what Main Street? Like Odessa Main Street or like Main Street, Kansas City?
Yeah, Main Street, Kansas City would be impossible.
Do a cruise, a real distance cruise. Okay. So doing a cruise night, that actually means cruising would be kind of cool. Because I hate to say it.
I like cruises, and I've hosted a lot of them under Mod Squad for multiple years. Now, the problem you run in with cruises is you lose connection with everybody that shows up.
I'm not making fun. Were they truly cruises, or we're all meeting up at a parking lot? No,
you do a run. You start at the location. Yes, there's a destination. Okay. Here's the route. The problem you run into is people want to drive fast. People want to drive slow.
So, okay. I kind of feel like...
I don't like the cruises.
I feel like a cruise. So if you call... There's a lot of cruise nights, but they're not really cruise nights.
No.
They're more like, we're going to all meet up together. And then they're not even necessarily showing up together.
Yeah, and I think Craig ran into this.
You should cruise into this, but...
Yeah.
And it's more like a meet and you hang out in a parking lot. A cruise...
I prefer that.
So we've done car rallies, right?
Yep.
Car rallies, in my opinion...
yeah, but you know how those are.
...are a very spirited ride.
Yeah. Very.
Okay? And that's perfectly fine. If you want to do a
correct
spirited ride, then you go do a car rally.
That's right.
Okay?
Yep.
I feel like a cruise literally should be exactly what it means.
Slow cruise?
You're just cruising. I don't mean you got to go like 25 mile an hour and at 40.
Yeah.
I think you guys should be able to kind of at least express the vehicles a little bit, but I'm not saying speeding per se. maybe you had to jump on the highway for a minute, so you kind of go on the on-ramp, let's get up to this speed. You cruise a little bit.
Yeah.
But you want to go on some cooler roads. And you know what? Back roads, just kind of cruising at a reasonable speed is still pretty fun. You don't have to go balls out in your car.
Right.
Because some people that do cruises one car may not handle as good as another car. Like you might have a really awesome sports car, but then you have this muscle car that's a straight
we
line.
see it in rallies.
We see it all the time.
Yep.
Okay. Now, with that said, I'm not against doing a cruise, but I don't mean that as a spirited ride. You want to do a spirited ride, then your drivers only people go over here, your cruise people go over here.
Right.
I'm not against if we want to do a little cruise, but maybe on the way to like a bigger event, a car, like maybe we meet up.
So
car cravers,
that's what we used to do.
All the cravers out there.
Mod Squad used to do it all the time. We'd meet at a location.
All the cravers can meet up
and
together.
we drive together.
Maybe we should try it out. Streetcar Takeover's coming out in April.
Yep.
Maybe we put an event together
Downtown.
for the car cravers of Craving Cars to meet up together.
Yep.
And we cruise in to the Streetcar Takeover kickoff party together.
Maybe at Wally's.
Maybe we do a slight detour for the cruise, so we kind of make a little bit of a fun to it.
Yeah.
Because once you get to the kickoff party, you're
highway
stuck
is highway, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
we've been on these.
I mean a proper cruise, obviously, but so that's good. So
yeah, and even the old school cruises.
Stephen Miller mentioned that, so that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay, a small little thing. It could be something we can just do in a random morning sometime. Doesn't take more than an hour. To do a little cruise, right?
I think as long as everybody understands the reason why we're doing the cruise, they will abide by our kind of standards.
I do want to point out that Wheels is not in Kansas City. He's in Oklahoma right now. And he's attending us. That goes to show you that anybody from around the world can be watching right now.
Well, true.
And I'm sure there are plenty of all the hundreds of people that have attuned to this channel. So
I think to make the announcement, yes, Craving Cars Live.
Okay. One, Casey Cardchick mentions more overlanding stuff. She likes the van stuff. So we will. I think that's part of the rigs and roast thing that we're trying to grow.
True. Yes.
So I think we'll definitely see more of that stuff going on. So that's really cool. Barn Find. So BFF is talking about a show like the River Run. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never done the river.
The Maris. It says Maris. Maris River.
So it's a starting point, drive down to a final point, and you kind of do back roads.
You know, and the thing is, the more people you get, the less speed you're going to really have involved.
Right.
You're going to go. Right. But to me, sometimes.
But you know us.
That little involvement where you just kind of cruise around a little bit, and then you meet up at another place.
Yeah.
Maybe even end up at let's say you start. How about this? What are you guys thinking? Let's say we meet up for a breakfast. You don't all have to eat breakfast, or you can show up after the breakfast. But we can meet up like there's a breakfast. We get together. We have a planned route. We do the route. We go to a certain meeting spot. So if you get split up, we're all back together. We can kind of chat a little bit. Hey, what'd you think of the ride? Kind of look at those cars, have a cool time. Then cool.
And maybe there's a part of the route that's spirited.
Now that we run, possibly yes.
Yeah.
And now that we run to let's say that's half of the little cruise, and then we go the next half. But our final destination will be like a meeting point for lunch.
Yeah.
And then if someone wants to stick around for lunch, can stick around for lunch. If they don't, then they can leave at their time. They can hang out with us. We can have some food. After that, we have the rest of the day to do what we want to do.
Yep. And honestly, that's the whole thing. You drive at your own pace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you want, depends on how many people. So if we want to set something like this up, depends on how many people kind of sign in for it, we can set up different leadership. So the spirited guys can be in this group. But ultimately, we still all meet at the same places.
Yeah.
Someone can lead this one.
That's right.
That's kind of the cruise.
That's right. There's enough time delayed to have everybody rejoin together.
Yes.
Right? Because we've been on them, right?
I like that idea. I really do.
We've done the Crown, the Express, Red Line. We've done these rallies where now you just start getting separated. Yes, there's a point for lunch, but once you might arrive, everybody else is ready to go.
Yep.
Right? And I think if we designate it that way,
So
That's the difference.
So Stephen Miller talks about like a cruise from like around here to all the way to like Topeka kind of thing.
I would like to take us out of
but not
state.
just staying on I-70, like kind of going around the thing.
The back roads, yeah.
But
because I think that controls the movement too.
If there's only one thing there, some people get to Topeka. Okay, now we're done. But now they got an hour and a half ride home.
Right.
So
right.
it kind of depends on how they want to.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's not a bad. I think we should talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Doing a little small little cruise thing, a little morning thing, maybe at the very least.
But should we announce it? We are going to do one major show this year.
Oh,
for Craving Cars.
He already said it.
Yep.
That guy.
We're doing it.
That guy right over there.
No, we've already talked about it. We're going to do it, and it's going to blow everybody's mind.
Okay, so this is the thing, guys.
Yep.
Yes, for 2024 plans, we have started. Now, this was actually an idea that was never announced to the public, but it's an idea that Craving Cars, back right before COVID hit, it was the beginning of 2020, had set planned for a big Craving Cars event.
Yep.
We're talking big car meetup. We're talking lots of people, vendors, prizes, just, things, music, you name it. It's an event. You know what gets you there? Your car. Therefore, it's a car event, okay? Showcase your car, show up with somebody else. It doesn't really matter. One big event. The biggest thing that I've always wanted from Craving Cars is one big annual event. That got stopped because of COVID.
Yep.
Never been talked about again until recently. And we're doing one big event this year.
Yep.
We will go to a lot of events. We only have time to do one of our own.
That's right.
As far as an all-day big event.
Yep.
Craving Cars event is announced officially.
And we've done them all.
We are doing this.
We've done everything from a small car show to full-blown rallies.
We have, yeah.
We have. So we understand the dynamics. We are going to do our own.
This is just supposed to be a really good, fun time.
Yep.
To basically celebrate all of the cravers out there and to thank you for following and watching and doing things for us. This is one thing that we can give back to the car community. Obviously, we're Kansas City based, so it's going to take place in Kansas City.
It'll leave from Kansas City, end in Kansas City. What's in between, we haven't decided yet.
Now, we have sponsors for our live show. Thank you so much, by the way, for all of our sponsors.
That's true.
We Are Warriors, UnKCorked Wine and Spirits, RICHLINE Motorsports, and Timely Delivery Service. Obviously, hit cravingcarslive.com if you want to know more about sponsorships. It says the details there. If you've got questions, we are here. We got the info at cravingcarslive.com. Let us know what you got.
Yep.
Now, with that said, I'm sure this is going to attract. I've already talked to a good handful of people that are not even living near Kansas City. They said, whatever event we have, they're coming to it.
Yep.
So I don't plan on it just being, it's not necessarily a local thing only. That's fine. But this is a big enough event that we're going to have vendors that I'm not going to give a cost to.
Yep.
We're going to have a lot of people there with their cars that I don't want to have a cost to. So with that said, we need sponsorship money for that event only.
Yep.
So we are open for sponsorship on that as well.
That's right.
Reach us at cravingcarslive.com.
That's it. Yep.
I know I already have a few that are in mind that are willing to want to step in. But you know what? Whatever it is that you are, you will be the headliners of the events. We will push you throughout the whole event and before and after, outside of our regular sponsors for our show in
plus
general.
spotlight, promotional videos, production, all of that behind it. So
very, very excited for our leap year, our once
so excited for 2024
4-year show, because we are on February 29th right now, and I forgot I did not mention this at the beginning of the show. That you guys understand how rare this show is right now. This is only once in every 4 years.
That's right.
I just want to throw that out there.
Is it?
Either way,
it is.
I appreciate everybody watching.
Yeah, I do too. And let everybody know that we're coming back every week in April. We'll start weekly shows.
We got one show, 21st, I think, of March.
Yep.
21st
With,
of March.
including car club coverage, individual cars, behind the scenes, and coverage of cars that are locked in a museum.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about Geeks for Kids.
Geeks for Kids 2.
Yep.
We'll hook up with Dan and figure that out.
We got some things with the Exotic Club, all kinds of stuff. We really do.
My gosh. So it blows my mind how much we're lined up this year.
I do apologize. It's going to be a few weeks for our next show. I know you're probably crying already that we're not going to be on next week.
You want it to be happening tonight, but you can come join us tonight for pizza because I'm hungry for some pizza.
Yeah, he is. I got there.
It's free on me, or free on us, I should say. So come on out.
Nope, just him.
Yeah, well, call Corey. It's on him.
I do want to thank everybody watching. We got a lot of cool stuff. So join us March 21st for our next podcast. In April, we are back to weekly.
Yep.
But man, this has been awesome. This has been great. We've had a lot of info to give you guys today.
Yeah, and thank you to Steven, Will, Big T, Barn Find. You know who you guys are. Thanks for joining us all the time.
I'm just happy to put out KC Aviation because we got a girl watching us. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, that works.
There you go.
I'm sure there's more. Either way, once again, thank you to the sponsors and our most supportive people in the world, our spouses.
My wife, Tamara, his wife, Dottie.
And my wife, Dottie. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm Corey Pratt.
I'm Chris Ruck.
And to remember, all you cravers out there,
keep us craving.